You're back with another one. This time we got top 10 badass character introductions in anime, volume 2 by VinnyTube. So, I already saw the thumbnail was Kaido, and then I looked at the first comment and literally just said Kaido's introduction is number one. So I was like, all right, cool, cool. So yeah, let's get into it. See y'all like, comment, subscribe.
Yes, we're resuming the ride with the next 10 awesome character introductions. Ironically, we get to see a lot of villains this time around, so strap yourself in for one hell of a ride. However, before anything else, I'd like to encourage you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All it takes is just the simple click of a button, and it will help the channel tremendously. Without further ado, let's get the ball rolling.
I don't know why that song just took the beat just took me in the back. Just took me for a second.
Here's an underrated anime to kick off the list. I've long been awaiting the release of a Drifters sequel, but can you blame me though when the first season gave us some epic introductions like the one of this badass right here. I don't think there's a better way to kick off this high adrenaline show than with the introduction of Shimazu in his natural element, in the heat of a battle. This is an establishing character moment to show us his determination and toughness. There's just no putting Shimazu down, and that's quickly become the trait that I'll remember him for thanks to his impactful introduction. With pedigree like that, is it any surprise that we soon get to see him make such large strides when he gets isekai'd?
It's true, but that was also stupid of him. Like, bro, like if you don't run instead of trap or something, goodness. Cut a couple of them up and then dip, like just so they could be like, hey, bro, that's painful. Like, you just killed two of our guys. We just watched you kill two of our guys. Like, bro, that's
There's no better time
that's
to
a
hop in
shame.
and embrace this epic adventure.
Also, get your money, fam.
Up next is Wamu's introduction in Battle Tendency.
That was his name? I forgot he even had a name.
Really, I could extend this entry here to the rest of the Pillar Men, but this character introduction is hands down one of the best in JoJo, and I believe that a number of JoJo fans agree with that opinion. The scene of Wamu awakening is something that every JoJo fan will remember. I just like how he wakes up, analyzes the situation, and then quickly just starts killing everyone. "Awaken my masters" is such an iconic line, and much of it has to do with the manner in which Wamu first appears in the story. So how about you? Do you think Wamu deserves a spot here amongst the other JoJo characters? For me, I don't think that's even a question.
I don't know why they song go hard. Bro, I saw on Twitter somebody's dressed as a Hashira. This Hashira
I know he's
and
barely advertised, and this could
in a
count
train
as a spoiler,
station,
but seriously,
somebody
who
was
doesn't
like,
know about Akaza's
"Don't let that
appearance
man
in
on
the
that
Demon Slayer
train."
movie at this point.
It was
Yes,
the funniest
actual
thing I
boss
saw
fight
all
in the
week.
movie is not Enmu, but the Upper Moon Akaza. See, this is how you make a surprise last boss in a movie that's about to end. The whole thing felt like one of those surprise bosses in video games, and Akaza works magnificently in that role. In this appearance, we get to see his prowess as he fights Rengoku in one of the most beautifully animated fights in modern anime movies. It's so good that I talked about it in another video in this channel. A grand entrance, an eye candy of a last fight, and an emotional farewell leading to a cliffhanger. You just couldn't ask for anything more.
Deadass, I thought that was the main villain. I saw so much about him before watching the movie. Thought
We
he
have
was the main
another
villain of the
memorable
whole
villain
thing.
joining the mix with our next entry, Meruem. Honestly speaking, there are few shonen villains as good as Meruem when it comes to the writing aspect of making a villain. One can say that his writing and development throughout the Chimera Ant arc is just so much above the rest. But that's not what we're here for now, is it, right? What we want is to see some dynamic entries and goosebump-inducing introductions. And thankfully, Meruem has that down as well. The king of the Chimera Ants deserves nothing less than a memorable entry, and we got that in the way he forces his way into this world. Then, he wastes no time showing off his merciless streak by offering Peggy and acting like a true demon with his heartless actions. It's this character establishing moment that sets the tone for the huge shift that we see him go through down the line. As far as character introductions go, this is one of the best ones because of how impactful it is.
I love how they really connected that the I forgot his name, the
One
lizard
Punch Man's
dude.
second season may have been
Whatever his name, the lizard dude. Oh yeah, they connected that with Peggy, and then like why he wanted to get revenge on the king because he did that one thing that the king don't even remember. King's just like, just came out. He's like, you know, who are you? Death. And then like that's caused his downfall. Partially, I mean, not really. It helped with the distraction, keeping his guards away, but you know his downfall was inevitable. Seeing how what they bust out to kill him, but yeah,
Been a rather contested adaptation, but I think that everyone can agree on one thing. Garo had one of the most badass villain entrances ever in anime. Thankfully, the anime staff managed to put it off in that regard. After all, in a show like One Punch Man, anything less would be a disservice to an incoming villain that has to be pushed. What better way to make your name known than by running into the Hero Association headquarters and just raising hell? It's not like Garo is an unknown figure entering his arc. He's been talked about by Bang already, but seeing his power in action is just a different feeling altogether. The heroes, they just had no chance. All of them just get beaten up by Garo, setting forth an intriguing showdown in the horizon for the other heroes. Just what are they going to have to do to defeat this renegade? Introductions that open up a lot of potential questions like that, they're the ones that are just the best.
you'll say our return in 6 months even stronger. You're like, bro, you already strong enough. You gonna come back?
Attack on Titan is up next, and my pick for the show is Kenny's first appearance.
The amount of times Levi's whole like squad, everybody he cares for has died, bro. I would not be able to do that.
Attack on Titan's third
No
season
wonder he's such a
easily kicks
badass.
things off with a bang with the introduction of Kenny Ackerman. You know, it's about time for a new villain who's not a Titan, and who would be a better candidate than Kenny the Ripper? What really made this moment is the atmosphere. Having watched several seasons before this, you can really feel that something's amiss. That amidst the tension and the surprising calm, something just has to go wrong, doesn't it? Then it happens with a bang nonetheless. We finally get to see Levi react in rage as he prepares to engage his former comrade before we cut to black. Wow. In true Attack on Titan fashion, a season starts off once again with deaths, courtesy of the season's villain. Hearing Levi's scream still gives me chills to this day, and it made for one of the best character introductions of them all.
Pissed, straight anger.
Golden King Gilgamesh is up next with his Fate Zero appearance.
Bro, at the end, like, literally, I hated Gilgamesh for a while. I still kind of do. I'm like, bro, stop being so cocky.
Is up there in the upper tier of most popular servants in the Fate series. Why? Because it's the unbelievably arrogant and confident attitude. Perhaps
Like,
it's
I
the
wanted
core
him to
visuals
get
of the
his
Gate
shit
of Babylon,
pushed in.
Or perhaps it's because of how prone he is in making entrances as magnificent as the one he did in Fate Zero. It looked like it's going to be a moment for our Skull Buddy here, and he's ready to shine as early as episode 2 of the series. Unfortunately, he just has to run into Gilgamesh before immediately getting upstaged. Poor guy didn't even have a chance and was just utterly destroyed, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. R.I.P. Assassin. You're cool and all, but Fate Zero Gilgamesh blows everyone out of the water. See you again in Heaven's Feel.
He was ridiculously strong.
What would you do when you think you've got control, only to run into a true force of nature? Just when you think that you've got the whole parasite thread under wraps, this guy shows up and makes mincemeat out of your precious men and weapons. That's just how I felt when I saw Goddo make his first appearance. A true freak of nature, the ultimate parasite makes his presence felt by making short work of Yakuza members. In the end, he's just testing his limitations, despite already being a force of destruction at that point. It establishes him as a threat quickly, and it sets the tone for his true moment of glory to come in the future.
I mean, he did get like the most athletic body.
You know how almost all of the appearances featured so far have involved some dynamic entry, some impactful entrance? You either see said character enter the screen in a big way, kill off people, or otherwise do some badass thing one after another. All for One, in contrast, has none of that. In contrast to the first 8 entries that we had here, All for One's entrance is very muted in comparison. However, the atmosphere that he brings with him during said introduction more than makes up for it. Props to the anime team for perfectly capturing the moment with shots on the hero's scared faces. This is the ultimate villain of all, the antithesis of All Might and the most
I
powerful
forgot
enemy
Eden,
that
that
they've faced
dumbass
so far,
mustache,
and their
bro.
reactions say it all. No way can they afford to take on this guy. Few can make such an impact with minimal acting and dialogue, but the way the anime brought out all those emotions with such little action make this one of the greatest character introductions of all.
Yeah, and there's the comment section told me
Within One Piece's
already.
gallery of villains, there are some cool ones, some crazy ones, and then there's some straight up awesome ones. However, in terms of having sheer power presence, I dare say that Kaido is without peer. That much is established with his character introduction. The narration also makes the scene so awesome, giving Kaido a lot of hype as he jumps down and crashes onto the ground. You can just feel the pure, utter destruction incoming as the humongous Kaido just towers over everyone before declaring war. This is one of the best villain introductions ever. It combines the categories that make a villain appearance so impactful. Kaido looks intimidating as hell. There was a lot of hype coming into this introduction.
Strong ass.
He wastes no time declaring his intentions. And with that, we close our second list on the
Strong
top 10
ass.
anime character intro.
Kaido freaking monster / duck / dragon. Kaido's fall from the Sky Island, the fact that he survived, his size, his narration, the OSC, everything screams badass. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't remember what was on the first list, but like there were some other ones that definitely I thought should have been on here. Like, you know, Madara, of course. He probably was on the first list though, I'm not gonna lie. Madara's intro is one of the most badass of all introductions, I'm not gonna lie. Damn. I was about to say Ichigo, but that wasn't even an introduction because he was already introduced at that point. But Byakuya, that was a, that had him shook. Ichigo thought he was something. Man showed up behind him all of a sudden. He's like, what, huh? Done for. Who else do you think should be on this list? Put it down in the comments. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.